Alrighty, what is going down, PokeMoshPit? This is KingQuags here bringing you guys today's battle upload. Now, today's battle, it is a argument match that I had against LemarJames23. I was looking for a battle on Skype, and here we are. So, looking at his team, I can immediately tell right off the bat that he is running a Sun team because he has Volbeat on there for the priority Sun. He has Exeggutor on there to abuse the Sun, which will probably be Chlorophyll. I'm hoping that it's Chlorophyll over Harvest because Harvest Exeggutor is annoying. And then he has Charizard on there to abuse the Sun with Solar Power. And then Entei is kind of one of the bigger threats because it's more than likely going to be the event Entei because that seems to be the only good Entei with a Flare Blitz and whatnot. So some boosted Flare Blitz is going to hurt a lot from that Entei. And then Regirock and Maractus on there. I'm kind of initially thinking that Maractus is just going to be spikes and whatnot. And then Regirock rocks and being a Regirock and taking hits like a boss. So, yeah, with that stuff being said, might as well just move around with the battle. Now, I actually decided to lead off with my Manectric this battle because I didn't know if you wanted to lead off with Volbeat to get his Sun up right away, or if you wanted to lead off with Regirock to set up his rocks, because I do have an Archeops on my side of the field, so that would be pretty useful for him. But he does lead off with Volbeat. Now, I wanted to Volt Switch right off the bat instead of Flamethrower because since he does have a Charizard on his team, I want to get my rocks as soon as I can. And since Volbeat don't carry offensive moves, I'm not too scared of it doing anything too threatening to me. I mean, the most threatening thing Volbeat could do is the Baton Pass a Tail Glow, which is what he's going to do here. So set up the rocks on the Tail Glow. Then I'm going to go for the Toxic so I can Toxic whatever he decides to pass the Tail Glow to. And the thing happens to be Exeggutor, and I do not see the Lumberry activate here, so that means he is Chlorophyll, so that's great. And, yeah. So, now, unfortunately, I have nothing on my team that wants to take a +3 Solar Beam, so I'm going to have to switch into something to fodder it off, and that something has to be Clefable. He went for Psychic when I could have just gone into my Spiritomb, but I didn't, which is sad face, but I lose my Clefable. Now, I'm not too sure why I went to Clefable. I guess at the moment I was just thinking, oh, well, Clefable's kind of my most useless Pokemon at this point because I really don't see much I can do with it. And then I just fodder it off. But I'm going to go into my Manectric now because Scarf Manectric can outspeed a timid 252 Exeggutor with Chlorophyll in the Sun. So, since he probably knows that I am Scarfed, he's just going to go into his Regirock to set up those, or just to force me out and get a free opportunity to set up the rocks as I go into my Sandslash. Now, I want to spin away those rocks as soon as I can because I do have an Archeops on my side of the field, or on my team, like I did say. So, I just do not want those rocks up because in the event that my Archeops does go into defeatist range, I do not have Clefable anymore to pass a Wish to Archeops to bring it out of defeatist range. So, in comes Maractus. I do not want to take a Giga Drain, so I'm going to have to go into my next bulkiest thing, which happens to be my Spiritomb. So, unfortunately enough, he does get the crit with the Giga Drain, so now I'm just really hoping that I can survive another Giga Drain, and then I can rest it off and be back at full HP and wake up with my Chesto Berry. But he goes for the Sunny Day, so that also kind of works, actually more favorable, because I don't have to worry about him killing me with that Giga Drain. So, I'm going to set up a Calm Mind right there, just because I don't know, I just wanted to set up a Calm Mind, I guess. And it's going to go into Entei, and I went for the Shadow Ball right there instead of another Calm Mind because he does still have things on his team that can very easily threaten my Spiritomb, this Entei being one of them. So just went for the Shadow Ball because I didn't want to set up too early with Spiritomb, and Shadow Ball does a really good chunk to that Entei. So, since the Flare Blitz is kind of obvious, I'm going to go into my Pokemon that can take the Flare Blitz the best, and that Pokemon happens to be my Feraligatr, and I don't take that Flare Blitz well at all, so that is more than definitely a Choice Banded Entei, because I'm not seeing Life Orb, and actually going to calc, and the only reason that he could do that much damage to a Feraligatr is if he's Choice Banded. So now I know he's Choice Banded, which means he cannot switch up moves, so he can't go for the extreme speed and do damage to my Manectric. So I'm going to bring that thing in, go for the Thunderbolt, and that is a dead Entei, so that's awesome. So in comes Maractus, and I'm going to have to switch out, and I decided to go into my Archeops because I figured that he was just going to set up another layer of spikes, because why the hell not? I'm locked into Thunderbolt, so I'm going to have to switch out pretty much, so free layer of spikes is awesome. Now right here, I actually predict his Regirock switch in, yet I go for the U-turn over the Earthquake, and I'm choice banded Archeops, so I don't have the Acrobatics Flying Gem, which is probably what he was fearing. But I went for U-turn, and I don't know why I didn't go for Earthquake if I was predicting the Regirock switch in. So just gonna go into my Sandslash here so I can rapid spin those spikes away because unnecessary damage is kind of unnecessary. Don't want it. Lolzy rapid spin crit just for the lols, I guess. And yeah, so he gets the sun up again, and I'm still not too scared of this Regirock. So right here, I decide to go for the Toxic, and I mean I do have the Earthquake, which is probably what he was predicting as he went into Charizard. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to Toxic the Regirock first, and then proceed to Earthquake him, because if I could Toxic that Regirock, then that will help wither it down even quicker. But I cast a Charizard on the switch in, and hell, that helps me out even better because I have Toxic buildup working at this Charizard, Pout on top of the Solar Power, which takes away 20%. I don't know how much Solar Power takes away, but it takes away more HP each turn, so that Charizard only has about, what, 2 turns left to live. So I'm going to go with my Archeops because I figured Archeops can take 2 hits from that Charizard because, I mean, Fire Blast, even though it's Sun Boost and Stab, I still resist it, and Solar Beam, it's powerful and it's neutral, so Archeops was kind of just my most disposable Pokemon at that point. So, double down, I'm going to go into my Spiritomb. I don't know why I didn't go into Manectric, actually. I don't know, because Manectric could have taken on his remaining Pokemon, and I could have just full switched. Oh well, but he Baton passes out of there, goes into his Maractus, because he probably figures that Maractus is the best thing he has to take on my Spiritomb. So I do go for the Shadow Ball. Fortunately I get the crit. Unfortunately, I barely miss out on the kill, which is sad face. But look, I mean, Giga Drain does nothing to me, so at this point I'm pretty sure that my Spiritomb can clean up the rest of the match a little bit and pretty much kind of secure the victory for me. So set up a Calm Mind because I figured that, hell, if a crit didn't kill me, then +1 should save me enough. So gonna finish off the Miraculous with a Shadow Ball. In comes Regirock, and I think I go for another Calm Mind here, or I go for Hidden Power Fighting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Hidden Power Fighting I go for, as it goes for Fire Punch. Not going to do anything to me because I'm max HP, max defense, bold nature. But he gets the 10% burn, which is okay, that's nice because I really don't care that I'm burned because Spiritomb is pretty much on his last strings, I guess. And yeah, so at this point I just went for Shadow Ball, didn't even bother going for Rest because if I went for Rest, I would be asleep for 2 turns and he would have done damage to me and whatever. But double down, gonna go into my Manectric because at this point the game's pretty much mine anyways because his last Pokemon is Volbeat, and Volbeat don't carry offensive moves, so there's no way he could win at this point. So he's just gonna opt to run, and that right there was a good game. So with that stuff being said, hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to show that like button, some love, and if you enjoyed this narration, then feel free to mosey on over to my channel and check that out. So, with that stuff being said, thanks for watching, and peace.